Hello and welcome to Tarot Sherpa. I'm Christine, and today I'll be reading tarot to you from the Universal Fantasy deck. So the spread that I'm going to use today is called The Castle with 15 Rooms, and it is the spread that is featured in the little book that comes with the deck by Paolo Martinello. Now, I have just finished a review of this deck, so if you want to see the cards and all their intricacies, I will put a link to that video in the description box as well. I'm just going to give these just a little bit more love. I did shuffle them in the break pretty well. So this is a choose your own adventure spread. I'm going to lay out a line of 6 cards face up and 9 cards face down. And we will interpret those. But in the spread, the querent would choose one card to answer their question. How are you going to choose a card? Very simple. I am going to scatter these pebbles. We have Sodalite, Peach Onyx, Garnet, Fluorite, Ametrine, and Ruby. And you will choose one of those and I will interpret that card. So I'll do all of these. Like I said, we'll lay out 9, but we're going to pick 6 to do interpretations from because that's what the instructions say. So we're going to follow the rules today. Not that I do that all the time. So here we go. I'm going to lay out 6 cards. 1, Death. Ooh, got some transformation coming up. The Emperor. Well, it's a guided transformation because we have the guidance of the Emperor there. 6 of Swords. The transformation is going to be going to higher ground, a better spiritual awareness. 4 of Pentacles. There's a little bit of resistance and a want to hold on. Oh, 5 Queen of Wands encourages us to move forward. And 6 of Wands. Again, moving onward like these 6s. Okay, so now we're going to lay out our 9 cards. All right, let's push all these guys up. We need a lot more room here. Hold on. Here we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to have to back way out to see all of this. Now I am going to randomly scatter our little pebbles here. 7, 8, 9. All right. All right, so we're going to put Sodalite there. Ametrine, Ruby, Garnet, Peach Onyx, and Fluorite. Okay, so we'll begin with the top left and Garnet. If you choose Garnet, then this is your reading. Garnet. 4 of Swords. So, we take our story of transformation, very, very directed, guided transformation. Now, this may be imposed upon you from the outside. This may be something somebody is directing you to do and something that you have not really wanted to do. Perhaps you procrastinated about it. Perhaps it's been a transition that's scary for you. Maybe maybe you've been promoted to something, because this definitely looks like a promotion, but it looks like something that's daunting and you kind of wish you could hold on to the way things were. However, this is not life, and the Queen of Wands is here to encourage you. The Queen of Wands is here to say that this is okay, that this transformation is something that's beneficial to you and it's something that you can do. And so you prepare to move on. But we also have this 4 of Swords. As you're preparing to move on, there's a sense of perhaps resignation, or perhaps you step back and you take a little break and you try to reassess, okay, how is it that I need to move on? What is it that's really being required of me? How do I really feel about this? Maybe it was a promotion that you put in for and then you actually got it to your surprise, and then you're a little hesitant that this is something that you want to do. Or perhaps your job is causing you to relocate. or perhaps a relationship is asking you to relocate. And so that provides both a sense of direction, but also a little sense of wanting to hold on, a little sense of hesitation there. And so the Four of Swords is offering a time of stepping back, an analysis, or this could actually mean that the vacation you've been planning for so long, because the Four of Swords can indicate a vacation, that it's finally upon you, and perhaps you're not as ready for it as you'd wanted to be. Perhaps some other things kind of got thrown at you last minute, and you're like, "Oh wow, I wish I could stop and handle this," but things are already moving along, and it's time that you moved along with it. Okay, so if you were Garnet, Four of Swords is your card. Okay, so Fluorite. If Fluorite is your card, here is your reading. Ah, the Hermit. Okay, so as we look at this spread for Fluorite, sorry to bump the table there. It's a rickety table. It's old. It's an antique. Very old. So we have death, which symbolizes transformation, but the emperor is here to guide that transformation. It's not something that is willy-nilly. It's not something that was unplanned. The emperor is all about structure, guidance, formulas. He knows what's going on, and he knows the way to do this to make it very, very successful. There is a Four of Pentacles here has a tendency to want to hold on to things the way they were, because there's a certain amount of comfort in that. However, the Queen of Wands is here to encourage you that moving on is really to your benefit and greater. The Six of Wands is typically a card of greater glory or recognition. So this is coming on in recognition of your work, and your work has been the work of the hermit. You've been working on things internally, probably for quite some time. And now it's starting to pay off. And I wouldn't say that that's a surprise. This is something that you've wanted to happen, but still there's a little sense of hesitation of, okay, how do I make this work? How is this going to proceed? So yeah, but it's a I want to say, dare I say, momentous work in that big transformation, lots of guidance from authority figures or even from the divine on this particular transformation for this hermit. And the hermit represents a significant amount of internal spiritual or psychological work. So this is your work is paying off. Your work, the work that you've done for yourself is helping you move forward. And that's really what you wanted. And there are good things that you can take with you from your past experience, but you don't have to let your past experience hold you back. You get to move into this new level of knowledge and wisdom that you have been working on. So this could mean something as obvious as maybe graduating from a program of study, or it could mean having read some spiritual work or some spiritual text that has changed some of your points of view, and now you're looking at, how do I incorporate that into my life now that I'm going to this higher, more spiritual point of view. How do I make that work? And yes, the Queen of Wands is here to tell you that yes, you can make this work in your daily life. All right, so that was the reading for Fluorite. Okay, so if peach onyx was your stone, this is the reading for peach onyx. All right, Nine of Wands. Okay, so the baseline here, we have a sense of transformation that's being guided by either a higher authority, either a material authority, teachers, bosses, authority figures, or can also mean spiritual authority, could mean direction from divine guidance. But whatever it is moving you to a higher level of consciousness. There is a tendency to want to hold on here with the Four of Pentacles, to want to kind of keep some of the things the same, or to at least appreciate perhaps where you've come from in this journey. Queen of Wands is here to suggest that it is okay to move on, and that she is here to inspire you and to keep you, or to inspire you to stay on track, to stay with your dreams, your passions, your desires, all of this that you've been working for. Keep it up, is the message of the Queen of Wands. Six of Wands is also talking about moving to a place of higher recognition. And then we come in with our Nine of Wands. We've got our little satyr here playing the flute. Nine of Wands can be kind of a card of obstinacy. There may be a willingness, oh, hey, yeah, I've put in the work. Yeah, I've been called to do something more, but oh, I just really want to stay comfortable. And I want to hang out in this Nine of Wands place and just not worry about that right now. Okay. That is, um, sorry to bump the table. It's a way to go. Um, I'm all for forward movement, but this may not be your forward movement. This may be the thing that you need to think about a little bit before you step into. Although it looks like a very positive change and something you should probably keep in close consideration, because everything in this deck is pointing towards higher ground, higher knowledge, higher awareness, better, and it being in a better position. Six of Swords, Six of Wands both indicate going to a better position. So staying where you're at may not be the best course of action. So I'm going to Queen of Wands this here and encourage you to reconsider staying where you are and think about moving forward in this direction that's been provided for you. All right. So that is the reading for the Peach Onyx. All right. If your reading was for Ametrine, this is your reading right in the middle of the pack here. Ametrine. Oh, we come in with the High Priestess, another major arcana card. So the major arcana cards we're showing for this reading are Death, the Emperor, and now the High Priestess. Yes, very interesting. So Death, we know, is actually a card of transformation. It's going from one way of living to another. It's going from one mindset to another. It's going from one situation to another. And in this case, it's guided by the emperor. And the emperor can represent any kind of structured authority figure. It could be parents, teachers, boss, work, um, military orders. It could be divine guidance as well. This could be something that's been laid out very clearly, that this is a transformation that you are ongoing and that you need to undergo for your greater good. So the greater good here is the Six of Swords. This is talking about going into a higher level of spiritual awareness, a higher level of mental awareness. It is about ascending from one situation, one mindset, to a broader, better perspective. Four of Pentacles lets us know that there's some hesitancy, which there often is in a big transition, to want to hold on to things from the past. Queen of Wands is here to say that it is okay to let that go and to follow your passions, your dreams, your ideas, that they are worth your time and that they have support and nurturance from the people who believe in you, and you should be one of those people. Six of Wands shows us that there's recognition, that there's accomplishment, that there's achievement with these ideas, that there's growth. And here we have the High Priestess saying that you know what this is about. You absolutely know what this is about. This is something that's been on your mind and on your heart for quite some time, and you are ready to make this transition. In fact, you're embracing it and you're moving with it because you know that it is the truth. So there you go. High Priestess along with the baseline cards. So kind of an attitude of how to handle the change, and it's a really good one because you know in your heart what you need to do. So if your reading was for Ametrine, High Priestess is your card. Okay. If Ruby was your stone, then this is your card. So we have the Eight of Cups. So the Eight of Cups. This is doubly interesting because we don't have any cups here. So the cups are indicating more of an emotional transition because the Eight of Cups is about transition. If you see that the little people here are escaping the giant on the back of a goose. I think that was the goose that lays the golden eggs. It's probably Jack from the beanstalk. Anyway, he's making his escape, and the sense is that there's an emotional release here for you. So if Ruby was your stone, then we're talking about a sense of emotions going on. So an emotional transition, death being the transition. So something has changed. Perhaps a relationship has ended. Perhaps there has been some kind of disappointment. However, the Emperor is here to say that this is all to the greater good. This is this is a transition that's very structured. It may be divinely guided, and it's moving you to a better place mentally. So you could have been in a toxic or destructive or otherwise non-productive relationship, and you've decided to take some good, perhaps spiritual advice and move on mentally from that. Now there's a little bit of wanting to cling to the past here with the Four of Pentacles, wanting to not have to make changes. Sorry. Table. Wanting to not have to make changes, but the Queen of Wands is saying that it is okay to move on and that you have support and you have the nurturance of your ideas and your passions and the things that you need. And you also have the protection of the tiger here that is symbolic of intuitive protection, intuitive guidance there. And it's moving you on. You may not be able to see where you're going in this odd little Six of Wands scenario here. I get a little person in a cart. While you can't see where you're going to a good place and you will get there. But it does take a little effort. It's taking kind of what we've got going on here, perhaps a little sleight of hand, a little slipping out the back to make this actually happen for you. But that's okay, because sometimes you just can't escape out of the front door, and this is more of an escape for you. This is escape time. This is getting out of probably a bad or unpleasant situation and making a break for it. And it's working out. It's working out. You are getting to a better place for having made that change. So if Ruby was your stone, Eight of Cups was your card, making a break for it. Okay, and finally, Sodalite. If Sodalite was your stone, then here's our final card, and our final card is Strength. We get another major arcana card here to add to our 6. So that kind of caps off this line with another, let's say, big idea. So we have a big transformation here with death. One part of life is ending and another part is beginning, because all new beginnings require an ending. But this is very structured, it's very organized, it's something that was desired. We have the Emperor here, and he is law and order and structure and direction, guidance. It could have been your own plans, it could have been some sort of authority figure, parent, boss, teacher, mentor. It also could be divine guidance coming that has got you going on this transitional path. And it's getting you to a higher mental state here with the Six of Swords. So Six of Swords is talking about coming to a place of greater peace, of greater knowledge. Swords are often spiritual. They're also logical. So a better mental position overall is the result of this transition. Four of Pentacles does indicate that we want to hold on to the way the things were because there's a certain amount of comfort in the familiarity. However, Queen of Wands is saying it's okay to move on. It's okay to move forward. It's okay to follow your dreams, your ideas, your passions, and to know that you're supported and nurtured in that. And so we go to the Six of Wands, where there's a sense of recognition, there's a sense of moving on. We've got the Six of Swords with the Six of Wands. Sixes are really, really stable places in the tarot. They are, kind of being on the road to heaven there, uh, at the sixes. You're moving forward. You've gotten through the difficulties of the fives, and now you're kind of at that midway point heading up. And finally, we come in with strength, which means this transition has been very well guided, and you have managed your internal landscape, your fears, your desires, all of the emotions that are associated with this transition. You are the master of them. They do not master you, you master them. And that is a very good position to be in. Kind of take a side note that Sodalite is a stone of communication. So communication may be one of your strengths in being able to communicate with other people what your desires were out of this transition, what your emperor state was, and therefore you got people to buy in with you on this Queen of Wands to support you in your journey here, either emotionally or with good ideas, with some structure. You were able to get that support that you needed, and from without and from within. So, if Sodalite was your stone, strength is your card. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed our little choose your own adventure journey. If you decided to watch all of them, they did get a little repetitive. If you decided to just jump to your own stone, perfect. That's, I wanted to give enough exposition for everybody, depending on how you wanted to process this nifty little piece of information. So, the overall picture is transitions. How are you going to deal with it? Transitions happen in our everyday life. They can be big, they can be small. You can be graduating, getting promoted, moving to a new city, or it could be something more subtle, like joining a new group of volunteers, or going to a different church, or um, trying something new that you hadn't previously done, and maybe that was a little bit out of your comfort zone, a new hobby, a new activity. Maybe you tried skydiving or scuba diving, or something that is not your normal activity, but you are using that in most cases to learn from and move forward, and that's great because that's what life's all about. You got to keep moving forward. Okay, if you like the video, hit like. If you like this type of content, please subscribe. I appreciate all of your time, and I hope you enjoyed this little adventure. I sure did. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.